Kaeyi and welcome to Hardware Heaven. Today we are going to be taking a look at SimCity 2013. Now this review has been a lot harder than most reviews purely for the fact that SimCity didn't have the greatest of launch. But does that affect how well the game performed in general? Were we still dissatisfied when the servers were fixed? I'm going to go into all of that now and let you know my thoughts on this game. Let's get right into it. Despite the fact the servers were down for the majority of the first 2 days of launch, I still found myself playing at least 25 hours within the first 4 days. Now personally I never found myself actually enjoying the game whilst playing it, however I kept coming back for more, and I'm going to go into why. At first you start the game, you've got very basic knowledge of how the game works. The tutorial system isn't that great, to be honest. It goes into how you build things and what you need to do to start up a city, but it doesn't go into any of the data maps or anything that could prevent you from going bankrupt, and that's something that you learn by playing the game. Now in all honesty, I think if they made the tutorial system any better or more detailed, you probably wouldn't get much playtime out of SimCity. The whole point and replayability of this game is that you make a city, you fail, you remake a city, you fail that after a bit longer period of time, you make a new one, you get kind of successful, and then you fail. So you learn from your mistakes, you start playing, and then you learn more skills, so that makes you want to start a new city or region. And you start realising that you need to place certain things in certain areas, and you need to look at all these data maps, and you need to use your brain a lot more to actually become successful. This game isn't something you can sit down and just play and relax to. There's a lot of thinking involved, and it's very strategic. You need to know what you're doing, where you're doing it, and how long it's going to take you. The main issue that we had with SimCity at launch was that the servers just were crowded. You couldn't get in to play the game, and considering over a million people pre-ordered it, I would have thought that EA would have been prepared to have better servers, or at least Maxis being prepared to have better servers. Someone should have been prepared with better servers so that we could get on and play it. When you spend the £45 or however much for the edition that you purchase, you would expect to at least be able to play the game. And this is the problem with DRM games. The same thing happened with Diablo 3, and I would have thought that EA and Maxis would have looked at Diablo 3 and thought that is a bad route to go down. How many people were angry at the fact that they bought this game and not only could they not even log on, the fact it was permanently online, so they couldn't even play on their own. And that's one thing I really dislike about SimCity. It's one of those games that you could perfectly play on a laptop whilst you're travelling on a train or a plane, or you're just at a friend's or family's house. It's just one of those games that you could sit down and play when you've got that spare time. But the fact you have to be permanently online means it's completely obsolete for that. I would preferably play this whilst travelling, because it's something that you can focus about. You're ignoring the fact you're sat on a train, and it really kills time. Time flies by when you're playing SimCity, and this is what I want to get onto. Despite the fact I wasn't enjoying it as much as I've enjoyed other games, I wasn't laughing, I wasn't having loads of fun, I didn't really feel like I was having fun, I kept coming back for more. And as I said, I played 25 hours in about 4 days. I started off by myself, I learned how to get the basics up, and then I joined a region with some of my friends. Now one thing that I have to give credit to EA for is that the multiplayer, the regions work really well. At first it's just more like you're in a neighbourhood with your friends, and you can see status updates about what they're doing, and it's kind of fun just to see their progress, check out their city, laugh that it looks like some kind of army barracks, or go, ooh, that looks really nice and pretty, I'm going to steal that idea. That's fun. But when you actually start getting into the depths of it and realising that you can help each other out, one of you could be a gambling city, one of you could be a coal mining city, one of you could be based on lots of shops, and you start figuring out that you can work together so that your residents basically can commute to other cities, and you don't have to worry about the lack of space you've got, because the map spaces are tiny. They seem big and overwhelming at first, but when you realise that the game forces you to cover at least 3/4 of your map with residents, it just becomes overbearing, and you've got to learn that the way you upgrade the houses and the way you get more people to live there is very specific, and it will take you quite a while to figure it out. You've got to invest time into SimCity. You're probably not going to enjoy it at first, and once you start realising how you work things out and you start getting better, you start to realise that you get to end game in about 5 or 6 hours. You get to the point where your city is the best it can be, and the only thing you can go from there is to save up all your money and contribute with your friends and make a great work site so that you can then just have more cities and space. It just feels like you're not really achieving anything, but if you're just looking for a game that you can focus on, you can get better at, and you can figure out all the graphs and the charts, and you can manage the crime rate and the fires happening and balance your residents with your industrial and commercial, then SimCity is fun. I'm probably still gonna play it, but whilst playing it, I am just really doing it to kill time. I haven't found that I've been so excited to play it. It's more just been like, I've logged in, and then by the time I log out, it's like my life was sucked away and 8 hours have gone by and I'm not really sure what I've done, apart from the fact I've just got this city of things that, yes, it has evolved, yes, it's grown, yes, I've got better at the game, but I still haven't achieved anything, because I'll probably just go bankrupt at some point because there's nothing that I can grow from here, and that's the problem. It's very short-lived. There's a lot of replayability in the sense that you can just keep creating new cities, you can try out the different maps, you can get the DLCs that give you different skins for your houses and things like that, but apart from that, you get to end game really, really fast, and you won't be satisfied if you're looking for something that's going to kill time for a couple of months. I would say I could have played this solidly for a week and then put it on a shelf and have been bored by it, because I would have experienced everything there is to experience. I really expected more from this. I'm just going to give it a recommended award, purely for the fact that, you know, it sticks to the SimCity franchise. If you love SimCity, then you will enjoy it. I know a lot of people, personally my friends, that are really, really enjoying it, and yes, I enjoyed it for 20 hours, but apart from that, it hasn't got the potential to be a fun game that's going to keep people coming back for more every day or every week even, and I just think there could have been more to it. They could have longed out the process of getting to a big city, or they could have added more things that meant you could expand, or maybe you could expand the size of your city and things like that. And that's not even taking into account the server problems, the lag, the fact that it's always online, the fact that if you get disconnected you can lose your entire city, the fact there's graphical bugs. If we just ignore that, it's still only a mediocre game. So I'll leave you with that thought and see whether you want to buy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!